Civic Hybrid. Y'all, we haven't been able to put those two words together in like 10 years, but Honda has finally had the insight, see what I did there? To bring this vehicle back. But the competition is just a little bit stiffer than it was back in 2015. This current generation Prius that came out last year, not only is it our favorite hybrid car, it's currently Edmunds' top-rated car. Full stop. We're gonna drive them, we're gonna test them, we are going to rate them all so that we can tell you which is the best new hybrid that you can buy. Are you all ready? Let's go! Now you see all these orange bits under here? That means that we got some electricity under this hood, and if we're gonna talk hybrids, we have got to talk about efficiency. Y'all, you can now buy a Civic that gets 50 miles per gallon. Now that is already a pretty sizable jump over what's an impressive 36 miles per gallon in the standard vehicle, but you guys, it's not really that great for a small hybrid. I mean, it's just a tick below the Hyundai Elantra and Toyota Corolla hybrids, but having said that, you can get the base model of the Hyundai Elantra hybrid with these lightweight wheels, and with that, you can get almost 55 miles per gallon. 55! Now, when it comes to the Prius, this engine's efficiency is stellar. It is outstanding. It is every single superlative that you could possibly think of and then some. Hell, some hypermiling wacko just set a record in one of these things driving across the country. He averaged at 93 miles per gallon. That is insane. Now for the best results, you're gonna wanna get the base Prius with the little tiny wheels, not these big old 19ers that come standard on the XLE and the limited trims. When it comes to fuel economy, we've rated the Prius at a 9 and the Civic at an 8.5. The Civic is great, but the Prius is more greater. All right, so the Prius wins, right? That's it, video over. No. There is so much more to talk about. Do you want to look forward to driving your car again? Go on over to Edmunds.com and find out how much your current car is worth, and then get rid of it and buy yourself a new one.
And like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, like and subscribe. When it comes to the Prius, here's one thing I don't like. This part right here. I cannot tell you how many times I have hit my head right here getting into the back seat of this vehicle. Unfortunately, just like every other Prius or Prii or however you call them, every Prius that we've ever been in, when you slam the doors, it doesn't give a good impression because it sounds really tinny. Also, although Toyota's gotten better with some of its plastics, there's still some like really cheap looking stuff back here. Now I've got plenty of legroom, but you guys, I'm 5'9". Anyone taller than me might start feeling a little claustrophobic. I mean, part of the thing that's cool about the Prius, the way it looks, is that sloping roofline, but it does do a number on your headroom. What I do love is that I've got 2 USB-C ports for charging, but I don't really have any air conditioning vents back here, so it could get a little warm. All right, so you got kids, you gotta put a car seat back here. Well, the good news is that the latch points are really easy to reach and they're well marked. The problem though is that the door opening is kind of small, so maneuvering a car seat back here might be a little tricky, especially if your car seat faces rear. Now, once you move into the front seat, there's one more little problem here, and that is your driving position. And that's because of where you sit in relation to this digital speedometer up here. I mean, for a lot of people, you're not even gonna be able to see the thing because the steering wheel is in the way and how tall you are. There's just all these different factors. For me, it's not a problem, but a lot of people on Edmunds staff just couldn't see the speedometer at all. And these seats are pretty comfortable too. I mean, we didn't get overly fatigued after driving for a few hours. The top trim does have heating and ventilation. Our trim has only got heating, but that's okay. I really dig some hot cross buttons. We do wish that there was a little bit more bolstering on the side just so that you're not sliding around too much, but it does make it pretty easy to get in and out. Now, we were a little disappointed to see that even in the top trim Prius, you only get a single zone climate control. I mean, what, like I don't have a friend who maybe wants it cold while I want it really hot? The cup holders here are really good size. They fit my Diet Dr. Pepper with ease. The center console is kind of small, but it's usable. But you guys check it out. I just found this super secret little cubby. That's so cool. Up front in the Civic, everything just feels a little bit more intuitive, and it's really easy to find your driving position because you're looking through the steering wheel to the gauge cluster, not trying to look over it like you're in the Prius. The build quality here feels really great. I love these little clicky dials that we've got going on here. And this honeycomb design, we've seen it on the Accord, we've seen it on the CR-V, and it looks just as good here in the Civic. The seats in here are really well cushioned and very comfortable. I actually like them better than what we found in the Prius, and there's a ton of space up here. I mean, we've got a staffer that's 6'4", and he was fine. The Civic also has got a pretty good sized center console and nice generous cup holders. Up front, I don't have that little hidden storage cubby, but I do have a rubberized wireless phone charging thing, so my phone isn't like sliding around up here. Now, if you need to install a car seat, the anchors are really easy to reach and they're covered with these nice little leather flaps, not like the plastic ones in the Prius. Forward-facing seats shouldn't have a problem, but rear-facing seats, you're probably gonna have to move that passenger seat up pretty far to accommodate it. Comfort-wise, Edmunds gives the Prius a 7.5 and the Civic gets an 8. This top sport touring trim has got Google built in, and you guys, I really, really like it. I like it as much as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The only problem is that you can only get it on the top trim, so you are gonna have to pay. Now, if you do get the Google built in, it means that you're going to also get access to the Google Play Store as well as Google Assistant that can answer questions for you. So let's see what we got going on. What's the weather like today?
Right now in Culver City, it's 73 degrees and sunny.
I mean, I knew that because I'm here, but still pretty cool, right? This 9-inch screen is pretty quick to react when I pinch and zoom, as well as when I go back to home and swipe through some of my choices here. Audio files, if you want that Bose 12-speaker sound system, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and the wireless charging pad, you're gonna have to move up to this Sport Touring trim. The backup camera does have multi-views. I mean, that part's kind of nice, but man, this resolution is really, really bad. Plus, there's no way that I can get a 360-degree camera in this car, nor do I get any kind of digital rearview mirror. Now, the Civic screen seems more than sufficient, but check out this giant screen in the Prius. It's a $700 option in the XLE, but it is standard on the Limited. However, the base and the XLE, those standard screens are an inch smaller than what we find in the Civic. So, moral of the story, you want a big screen, you gotta pay for it. Both systems get the same software, but we really like the clean interface here in the Toyota. The navigation system uses Google Maps, so you've got access to up-to-date things like restaurants, gas stations. I mean, it's so great to have something that's modern in here. We wouldn't have seen this in a Toyota product 5 years ago. The pinch to zoom is pretty quick, not the fastest I've seen like on my phone, but it gets the job done. There's not too many factory navigation systems that are worth using over Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but this one makes a decent argument. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard here in the Prius, as are 6 USB-C ports, 2 up front, 2 in the center console, and 2 in the rear. But the base model misses out on this nifty wireless charging slot. Toyota's backup camera system is okay. I'd rather the picture be a little bit clearer, but I do have a nice wide field of view. But where the Prius has the advantage is that you can get 2 optional technologies, a 360-degree camera and a digital rearview mirror that you can't get on the Civic. For technology, we give the Prius a 9 and the Civic an 8. Now, here's the thing about the Civic. I mean, yeah, it's pretty efficient, but it is also really powerful. I mean, I've got the same amount of horsepower as what you get in the sporty Civic Si and a whole lot more torque. And both those numbers are way more than the standard Civic. So what that translates to is a car that scoots off the line with actual enthusiasm, and it accelerates to highway speeds really, really nicely. There's plenty of grunt for everyday passing and merging, and listen, we have loved this powertrain in the Accord and the CR-V hybrids, and this vehicle with just a little bit lighter, we like it even more. Now, if you're curious as to just how quick the Civic Hybrid is, we tested a 0 to 60 time of 6.6 seconds. Now, that is faster than the gas-powered Civic. It's even faster than the Honda Civic Si. I know. So we really like the powertrain, that's great, but I've got like another pedal down here, and it's not a clutch pedal, I wish. I'm talking about the brake pedal. And the Civic does a great job at kind of mixing your regen brakes and your mechanical brakes so you can bring this car to a stop really smoothly. And here's a pro tip. If you want the max regen, put it in sport mode. You're gonna have a better drive time and you'll get free electrons. As for the number in our test track, well, we were able to get this thing to go from 60 to a complete stop in 125 feet. That's about mid-pack for a hybrid sedan. And it's pretty easy to see out of the Civic as well. I've got these nice skinny A-pillars, so I've got plenty of visibility in the corners. I mean, the Civic is just, it's a really nice vehicle to drive every day. I mean, it's easy to place, it's easy to park, it's engaging when you want it to be, it's comfortable, and it's composed. Yeah, it's a little bit heavier thanks to the hybrid battery, but still, as far as a daily driver goes, there's nothing else in this segment that we'd rather have. But you guys, it's not all puppy dogs and rainbows. First of all, there's a lot of road noise in this vehicle. You can hear it at any speed, but up on the highway, it is borderline intrusive. All Civics, including non-hybrids, get a full suite of driver's aids. I am talking emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, lane centering. Most of them work pretty well. The adaptive cruise control here is not quite as smooth as what you'll find in the rest of the segment though, including the Toyota. So everybody talks about how the Prius is, oh, it's quick now, but you guys, I always thought it was really quick off the line. The problem came between like 30 and 60. Now this engine doesn't run out of steam until way, way higher speeds. The only problem is that that engine can be kind of loud. Now, like the Civic, there is more than enough power for just getting into traffic, merging onto the highway. However, I like the power delivery a little bit better in the Civic. Oh, but one thing, you can get all-wheel drive in the Prius. You can only get front-wheel drive in the Civic. The Prius has got a 0 to 60 time of 7.7 seconds, which is way slower than the Civic. The brakes here are well tuned. They're really easy to modulate. However, you do get more options for regen than you do in the Civic. In our testing, we got the Prius to stop from 60 miles an hour to 0 in about 123 feet, which is just a little bit sooner than the Civic. The Prius has got really good ride quality. I mean, even through any kind of broken pavement, it just soaks them all up. Road noise feels to be about the same level as what's in the Civic. I mean, nothing in this segment is quiet, but just turn up the radio, you'll be fine. Visibility isn't quite as good in the Prius thanks to this A-pillar right here. And even in the back, that hatch window, it's kind of tiny. Thankfully, the driver's aids in the Prius are terrific and they are all standard. The adaptive cruise control and lane centering, it is much more confident and smooth than what you find in the Civic. And Toyota's got this proactive driver attention monitoring system where if it thinks that you're like tired and need a break, it'll like say, boop, boop, hey, why don't you pay attention? And you're like, hey, I am. But I mean, thanks. All in all, the Prius is a great car to drive on the daily. I mean, the engine noise aside, I've got plenty of power and torque. My mid-range acceleration is better than last year. Plus, I've got all those driver's aids. What's not to like? When it comes to driving, the Prius gets a 7.5, the Civic gets an 8.5. Now, obviously, we have a hatchback and we have a sedan. On paper, the Prius has got more cargo space than the Civic, but I'm curious, how does that space work in real life? I mean, how usable is it? The real story here is the size of the opening and the height of that cargo space. There is no way this cooler is going into that trunk. But here in the hatch, it's not really a problem. But listen, if you really like the Civic and you need more space, don't worry. You can also buy the Civic in a hatch. Pretty cool, huh? For cargo, we give the Prius an 8, and when you factor in the Civic's available hatch, that gets an 8 too. Of course, none of this is relevant if you can't actually afford one of these vehicles, but fortunately, both of them are pretty attainable. Now, our Prius is an XLE model. The one we've got stickers for about $35,000, but it's got some extras like a fancy red paint job, a $1,000 glass roof, and a $70 fancy charging cable. Normally, if you're gonna go for an XLE, those are start around $32,000. Now, the base Prius with fabric seats and the little tiny wheels, that comes in just north of $29,000. Both Honda and Toyota offer relatively standard basic warranties, but Toyota goes that extra step with 2 years of free maintenance. So thanks, guys. Now, the Honda Civic Hybrid is actually a little bit more affordable. Our Sport Touring trim comes maxed out at right around $33,000, but remember, you can't get features like a big panoramic glass roof or the larger screen. The base Honda Civic is right around $30,000, but you can access a lot of the features that we like about the Civic, minus the hybrid powertrain, for about 25 grand in a Civic LX. We've got a tie when it comes to value. Both the Prius and the Civic are rated at an 8. When it comes down to it, these are both great hybrid vehicles. The Civic definitely came into this as an underdog, but it has proven that it is worthy to fight with the big boys. I mean, after all, it's got really good efficiency, it's got a great interior, it delivers on tech, it's affordable, and it is our most favorite Civic to drive, save for the Type R. And the Prius. Y'all, this is definitely the monarch defending her crown. I mean, it looks great. It's got excellent efficiency. The tech is really, really good, and it's almost as enjoyable and pleasurable to drive as the Civic. So, how do the numbers stack up? And the Edmunds overall rating, the Prius gets an 8, and the Civic barely edges it out with an 8.2.
Tell me a joke.
Did you hear about the snowman that got upset when the sun came out? He had a total meltdown.
Stupid.